It's 11:30. I just finished all of the deliveries, and I'm headed back to True Love Honey. And I'll probably open up the store for a little while, so if somebody wants to come, you surely can. But I got to get back by 1 o'clock because I have the trucking company come picking up an order on some pallets. But it's been a great day. And I was thinking on the way home about a time, story time, okay? I was thinking about a time. You remember when the towers fell? I don't know how many of you remember. I remember exactly where I was. I was at work with the chemical company, and I had just arrived, and everybody was like very solemn. I mean, you could just feel the tension. I was like, dude, what? I'm like, what's going on, you guys? And they said that the towers were on fire. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And I went to the TV. They had it on. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Just like you probably couldn't either. And we're standing there, and I'm watching this tower burn. And then the second tower took a hit from a plane, an explosion, and I was like, what in the world is going on? And then, of course, you know, as the day was, or as the hour was unfolding, you know, you're learning about all these other planes and all this stuff, you know, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. And, you know, as the days went by, the aftermath and everything, the weeks, I had this, I had this urge to help out. I wanted to do something, you know, and I really did believe the rhetoric that Uncle Sam was putting out there, and I bought it hook, line, and sinker. But I wanted to do my part. At that time, I don't think that I was very politically astute, and I wasn't probably the most careful thinker, but my heart was in the right place, and I wanted to help. So you guys, at 35 years old, I quit my job and I joined the Army. So at 35 years old, I went into boot camp. And the idea is that, you know, I would eventually make my way towards either Afghanistan or Iraq. I got as far as Iraq. But I went through boot camp, an amazing experience. I mean, I really, you know, come away from that whole experience thinking to myself, my gosh, you know, this is an awesome experience. I wish that everybody could experience it, just because of the way that it connects you with yourself. And I just think that it challenges you in a way that you'll never be challenged at home or anywhere else. And there's nothing like a screaming drill sergeant up your ass every minute of the day that you're awake. And it really does something for you. They take you and dress you down and then build you back up into somebody, you know. When I got to Iraq, I quickly saw that things were not going to be anything like what I expected. And the experiences that I had over the 15 months that I was there really shaped me into some kind of person, I'll tell you. It left marks, and it changes you. It just changes you permanently, and it brings you face to face with a part of humanity that almost nobody ever sees. And I volunteered to do that. I went there, and what I saw and what I experienced, I would wish that on anybody. And I came away from that experience saying to myself, that's not who I want to be. And after 2 deployments, I decided that I was done. It was somebody else's turn. I did what I could do, and I did what I set out to do. And I saw that I wasn't that person. I wasn't that person. And so sometimes you have to experience something in order to know that it's not for you. And I had somebody that I knew, somebody that knew me very well, who told me, Anthony, you're making a mistake. You're not gonna like your experience there, because it's just not right for you. And I said to myself, you know what? I have to figure this out for myself. And I said, thank you, Steve, but I got to do this. And he said, I know you do, and I wish you luck. And I went and I did it, and I had opportunities to get out, but I stayed. And Steve was right, but I had to find out for myself. And I think, that it's something that I was thinking about on my trip home today, is that sometimes we don't know who we are. We think we do. Then we put ourselves into certain situations, and then we find out that that's not who we are. And I think that it's a natural process. That's how we grow. That's how we mature. But oftentimes, we get hurt in the process. Scarred. And it can shape how we see ourselves, and it can shape how we see the world at large. And if you're not careful, it can really do a number on you. My experience with my time in the Army, and even my experience as a businessman for the last 17 years, and I've been thinking a lot about it, and all of the different roles that you have to play, not just with business, but just in life. And I've come away, with, I think I finally know who I want to be, and I want to be the master peacemaker. I just feel like, I'm done with anything that doesn't look like peace. And it's just amazing to me how easy it is to get suckered into scenarios where there is no peace within. It doesn't have to look like violence, it could just be how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world. And it's really important to have that peace inside. It makes all the difference in the world. It's so easy to find yourself lost in this place where you're in the wrong environment. It's not bringing you peace, but you're comfortable, or you're just scared because you think, my God, I've never I've never stepped out on my own. I've never done it for myself. I've never made my own way. I've always had to rely on other people. I don't know how to make decisions. We tell ourselves all these stories, and we're really living the lives of other people. And we get suckered in, like I did, to the story that these guys hijacked these planes and drove them into these buildings, and now we have to go and kill all these people. And it's so easy to get lost in the stories of other people, and for whatever reason we give them the authority to sell us their view of life and their view of humanity. And like I said, if you're not careful, you can really find yourself in a very bad place. And you can see things and experience things that no person should ever have to see or experience. You know, I look back at my time in the military and I say, it's really bittersweet, because I can look at those experiences and I know for sure, without question, that my time in the military prepared me for business ownership. It prepared me for fatherhood. It just prepared me to operate in life at an extreme level. And develop a high tolerance for pain and discomfort. But there's a price that you pay for that. There really is. I think I know that I'm done with that. I'm done with that shit. I'm ready for peace. And it just all circles back to true love, honey. And the vision that, I've always had with this is at some point, that I wanted to be able to give back to the community in some way, shape, or form. And over the last, I guess, probably 8 years or so, I started thinking about how I wanted to do that. Because, when you start to experience the benefits that entrepreneurism brings to you, naturally, you just naturally want to give back you're helping, you're contributing to this, mountain of knowledge that's available to anyone else that wants to go down that road of self-betterment. And how was I going to contribute to that? And my thinking was always that I would have, workshops where I could help people brainstorm different business ideas that they could start with almost no money. Or, like I started this business with just $212 and whatever was floating around in the gray matter of my mind. And I just felt like I have a unique way of brainstorming with people to do that on the budget, shoestring budget. But I kept putting it off, and I always was thinking to myself, my story's not done. I haven't really proven anything yet. And even now, after 17 years, I still am like, I still have, that imposter syndrome where you think, I don't know, your story's not old enough yet. You really shouldn't be offering any advice on anything like that. But I've learned and I've seen throughout this last year that there's people out there with huge followings that are dumber than a bag of rocks. I'm sorry, I hate to say that. I don't like thinking that way about my fellow man. But I've seen it, and it just blows my mind, kind of advice, and that's floating around there, and they have millions of followers, and you're just thinking to yourself, okay, if these people can do it, then there's really no excuse for you not to do it. And so, I think that this whole process that I've been going through, this healing process that you've been witnessing for the last year, is kind of breaking me into that mindset. It's getting me closer and closer to that place where I'm comfortable opening up and offering my 2 cents on things. And, whenever I meet somebody that says, man, I listened to your videos and it really helped me, it's really hard for me to process that. But when I do, it's good. It's a good feeling to know that you have a positive impact in the world. And because of the things that I've seen and experienced, that's exactly what I want to do. Is with my business and all the things that the next businesses that I dream up, the other projects that I start, that they are peace-centered and that they're bringing a sense of peace, not just to me, but to the people who are on the other side of it. And for me, that's important. And so that's my message going home, is you got to listen for the life that's calling you, the life that's calling for you. And it's not always comfortable. And a lot of times we don't really realize just, we find ourselves in this space of pain. We don't really realize how it's preparing us for something that you can't see yet. For something that's just, maybe it's just over the horizon, maybe it's over a few horizons, but you're being prepared. And that preparation, some meals are made in 30 minutes and some take a couple of hours, don't they? I'm honored for all of you that have been along this journey with me for the last 17 years, and now as we break into, for the last year, we get to know each other a little bit better. And I hope that as time goes by, the participation level on the part of people who are listening, I hope that increases. It's always nice when other people put their 2 cents in also, because your voice is valuable just like mine is. And you have some unique way of looking at the world, and it's important. It's very easy to think that it's not important, but it's not true. It is important. And I hope that as time goes by, I get the opportunity to get to know all of you a little bit better. And who knows, maybe we will do those workshops in the shop as time goes by. I think I need a bigger place, but we'll see. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed our little talk. I enjoyed talking to you guys, and I hope your day is going well. If it's not, I hope that it improves. Thank you. Take care.